So containers are always a big important thing, but containers can also be a little bit tricky. So one of the things that I struggle with in my own containers is making sure they stay watered. And those containers tend to dry out a lot faster because it's just such a small volume. And in the hot sunshine like my patio is, it dries out much faster than everything else. So usually in the summertime in the heat, I'm watering probably every other day, but I'm definitely checking on it and making sure that it doesn't need water and that things aren't parched and going down. But some other tips on container gardening is when you're just beginning, try to stick to 1 to 2 different things in a pot. That makes it easier to take care of and to know how big it's going to grow or if it's going to overgrow. You want to make sure that you're picking plants that go well together. So marigolds is always a good one because they help deter pests away from other plants. So if you put a marigold with a tomato plant, you can help keep bugs off of the tomato plant that it's going to be munching on. Dill's another fun one because it'll attract butterflies, and put it next to your other plants like your tomatoes again, because that'll bring the pollinators that are going to pollinate those tomato flowers so that those turn into actual tomatoes for you too. Tomatoes are really tricky. You got to make sure that you keep those watered and keep them just continually watered because they get stressed if they don't get even watering throughout the year, and if it gets too hot or too cold, they really kind of struggle. So they're a little bit temperamental. Keep your eye on those. The same companion planting also works with containers. So tomatoes and basil go well together. Tomatoes and spicy peppers like jalapenos also go well together. Sunflowers don't go well with other plants. And so you want to make sure that if you're planting a sunflower in a pot, plant it by itself. Don't plant it with other things because it does release a hormone that prevents other plants from growing. And then you can always have plants planted next to each other. So you can have your annuals next to a container of, say, lettuce or tomatoes, and just kind of fill up your patio with a bunch of different sized pots. So make sure you have a good size pot so that it doesn't dry out too much. A lot of plants also like to have 12 to 18 inches deep to make sure that they get deep enough roots. So that's another thing you can work on. If you add in some worm castings or some ancient soil or bloomin' soil when you pot those, they can also encourage root growth. That'll help keep the plants stronger throughout their growing season. And then also, as you're getting started, you can pick short-term crops like lettuce and grow them for 30 days, harvest the lettuce, and then plant another thing after it. And so that's called succession planting. When you're planting something, knowing you're going to harvest the whole thing and then plant another set after it. And that's also a great way to get started because it's only a short period